from you this time. Hacking into the stock market, closing down a bank, fixing an election. It's all easy.
Right on.
What a bunch of trash.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Trash Movie Kings podcast. I hope you all had a good Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's now 2023, which is fucking crazy. Yeah.
Ugh.
I am your host, Adam Edwards. Justin Petty and Apocalypse Howell are out on assignment this week. Joining me, though, I've got Joey Graham. How are you?
Hey, yeah, I'm fine. I was driving today and I realized that I am not a curious person. And I'm accepting that. So that's me today. Just
Curious?
accepting that I'm not that curious about things.
Did you see like a foot and it might be a dead body, or what? What are we talking about?
No, I was just thinking about how I don't look at any of my surroundings. I was driving around and I was like, I passed this by like I don't know how many times. I've never looked at this. What are all these things around me? I don't look at things. Who cares? I'm just trying to get to point A to point B without being disturbed.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just it's kind of I was sad about it a little bit, I think, but I'm coming around to just accepting it.
I'm curious to how that affects your, like, or how that kind of colors the way you take in films and things like that. Like, are you paying attention to many details, or are you just kind of letting it wash over you?
Yeah, usually I've always been fascinated with people who can write really good analysis of films. I think I can have like decently original thoughts on like the second or third time I watch a movie. The first time I'm just like, I'm just letting it go usually.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally something will pop out of me if it's a reference to another film that I know, and I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. Or if I can see some structure things that are moving. But usually it's always on the second, third, fourth time I watch a movie when I can start breaking it down. People who can do it immediately, very fascinating to me. That's why I think I read some critics a lot that are good at it, seemingly. Very jealous of that ability, I think. Yeah. All
right.
Anyway.
Much to noodle on there. Also joining us this week, JD Karpicki. JD, how are you?
I'm just seeing all the pretty flowers, and I notice everything first time I see a movie. So like, I don't know what you're talking about, but
it's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Especially if it's a blatant like rip-off line of a movie like in this one. But no, I'm kidding. I'm almost the same. Like I go into movies pretty just gullible, almost
blank,
just sort of like
yeah.
Because when people are like, I knew it was a killer, I knew like from the very beginning. I'm like, how are you enjoying this?
Yeah,
I like to just go for it the first time.
That stuff like that's boring to me. If it's like, like I think about when that like really unlocked for me was the first time I saw Shutter Island. And maybe 5 minutes into that movie, whenever it is that they first get to the island, I was like, oh, I see what's happening here. I see what the big twist is.
And
we
already knew there was a twist, perhaps.
Well, no, it was just like I noticed there was like a little thing where Ruffalo had a tough time getting his badge or his gun off of his belt. And I was like, if he was actually a cop, he wouldn't have trouble with that. So he's not a cop. This is all fake. Leo's probably an inmate. This is like a whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah,
I was also, and I was like, okay, that's kind of disappointing for maybe a minute or two. And then I was like, but I'm still along for the ride. Like, I want to see how it all comes together and unfolds. It's so boring to just, like you said, JD, to have people that are just like, oh yeah, I knew it was this, that, and the other. And so that means the movie sucks. Like, no, it doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
That's terrible.
I've gotten better at that kind of stuff, I would say, through years. But oddly enough, my mother is like really pretty astute at that. She can kind of see big stuff like that happening. I can't think of anything specific, but I have several, or it's like a thing in our family of like her noticing whatever is going to happen late in the plot, and she's just like, she'll just say it while we're all watching, and we're like, God damn it, Mom.
Yeah, she's right.
Yeah. I had something relatively smart that I was going to say about that, but I lost it.
We're going to edit that in here.
Well, it's fine. We'll come back around.
But speaking of convoluted plots and not knowing where things are going to go and just being along for the ride, tonight we watched Ninja, the Ultimate Warrior, also known as Justice Ninja Style, a Knives Out story.
This is perhaps Knives Out story. I have to say we took a week off, or 2 weeks off, kind of.
Yeah.
We watched a movie all by ourselves.
Yeah, I feel like I watched good movies, most notably Glass Onion, which is quite great.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. That's a movie that I went in like. I started going, okay, maybe I can figure this out. And the theory I had for it didn't happen at all. So I was like, okay. Well, so now I'm trying to be more astute about those things, but failing. So I think I just need to watch a movie.
I put on the other one, the original one earlier.
Yeah. The Knives Out story.
Yeah. The original one is great.
Yeah.
It's a lot less wacky, which I think works for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
upside down.
Is it? Great. No one's watching. Okay. Now look at the Spotify link. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, I got this.
Is that a
Christmas.
bandana?
It was something from LA.
If you put that in your back pocket and go to a gay club, that'll mean you like to get weed on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because it's yellow?
Yeah. And by weed on, I don't mean smoke weed. I mean get pissed on.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is based on a movie I watched during our break, Cruising.
Oh, you with Pacino or no?
Yeah. Pretty good.
It's a De Palma movie.
No, I don't.
I'm totally.
No,
I'm
it's
mixing
God,
things up.
I'm gonna blank on his name totally. It's somebody of some ilk. I can't.
It's not
remember
Michael
exactly.
Mann. We should just cut all this. People are screaming at their podcast devices.
Talk about the Ninja movie.
Oh!
All of our petulant fans.
Yeah.
We did watch Yule Log last week. That was fun.
Oh yeah, we had fun and didn't do
fun.
a podcast, and we just watched Yule Log.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting. Was it Casper Kelly who's making a name for himself at Adult Swim?
Yeah.
I think I said to you guys, I'm ready for that guy to make a leap into like a bigger movie.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to see him with a bigger budget do something weird, but I don't know if he has the appeal right now. Everything's so algorithm to shit. I don't know if
right
he gets a chance anywhere else. Maybe, I don't know. But he's got some Lynchian, like a funny Lynch, modern Lynch kind of vibe. I like it.
Yeah. I do wonder what a bigger budget would do. You know, like I feel like his ideas work perfectly fine with the budget that he has.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see something that has like a wider net, I guess. Like more people see it.
Just like a few bigger actors and kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe some more refined effects and things.
Give me a Keke Palmer in the Yule Log. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. But anyway, this week
this movie.
we watched Ninja, the Ultimate Warrior, also known as Justice Ninja Style, from 1985.
Wow.
Written by Ron White.
The Ron White.
The Ron White, not the Ron White.
The Ron White.
Tater Tot himself. Tater Salad himself, sorry. His
if you're-
child is Tater Tot.
If you're just listening, JD Karpicki has a scotch and a cigar.
I had to get it.
And to be clear, it is not
Ron White.
actually that Ron White.
It's
is
not
a
that Ron White.
karate master Ron White who wrote
Hey,
this
we
movie.
didn't see beneath the mask. It could have been
never-
Ron White.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Ron White wrote it, and Ron White is listed
ninja.
as the actor for the
as the
ninja.
ninja. Yes.
Wow.
And then it was
AKA
directed by
Bigfoot.
Parvin
Yeah.
Trammell. Oh yeah, Bigfoot.
Oh.
My Bigfoot. Yes, this is a classic ninja lawyer story.
Classic. It's one of those times that I'm mad because I said a thing and then it immediately came to life. It's like, oh, this is a good idea that I finally have. Ah, shit. All right. Well, there it goes.
Well, it's not really, but
No.
it might as well be.
This is a shot on video ninja story set in the great mysterious land of Missouri.
DeSoto, Missouri.
DeSoto, Missouri.
I guess some of it's in St. Louis initially.
Yeah, at the very beginning, you get a bit in St. Louis where you set up this cop who's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
And
So
then
has
to
I
go
have
to
my
DeSoto.
notes, and I fixed it because I think this is what happens, but it's confusing in the movie. Is I think he gets kicked out of the St. Louis Police Department,
Yes.
Oh,
and then he has to go like home, maybe to
Yes.
DeSoto, Missouri.
They relocate
or
him.
DeSoto
He's out on
County.
assignment.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. And in the way the movie presents it initially, it's a little confusing because it seems like he's going to St. Louis. I was like, oh, he got a bigger job, and I was like, classic fucking cops.
Right.
Gets fired from a small town and goes and gets a job in a bigger town for being a terrible cop.
But no, that's not what happened.
No, not at all.
Do you want to go through your notes about what actually kind of happened in this movie?
Sure. Okay, so to start off with, seemingly a group of ninjas somewhere in Missouri are expecting the return of a Grandmaster Ninja at their ninja camp. But then quickly we're introduced to the cop, George. He's a bad cop. He gets fired for stuffing a ticket in a kid's mouth during a standard moving vehicle violation stop. But he gets fired, but then immediately gets hired somewhere else, which is actually DeSoto, we find out later, because cops. George goes back on the beat and then immediately sexually assaults a woman he knows from high school and then kills her with one strike of a bully club. And then he frames it all in this random jogger that looks remarkably like Banya and several other people we were talking about. The puppet of he's a mixture of the puppet of Matt Damon mixed with Banya from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
So George frames his murder on this random guy jogging in jeans, but a ninja sees it all. But then Banya is locked up in the county jail, and a ninja starts a tire fire to distract while he breaks Banya out of the joint, right from under George's ass. And then it's a manhunt. Banya's on the run. Banya retreats to his karate studio that he trains at, I guess. And then tells the cool guy dojo master about everything that happened to him today. Apparently this has all happened in one day. And then the cool guy takes him to an abandoned house to hide him from the cops, presumably. Then the dead girl's the girl that George kills his blonde friend shows up for reasons and wants to kill Banya with a shotgun for revenge, but he calmly explains to her while there's a gun in his face that George actually killed her, and then they try to leave along with the cool guy from the dojo. But they get attacked by a random cop behind a tree. And again, the ninja is there to help him. George deputizes an entire bingo hall, and then they all go after Banya. And again, the ninja saves him. Then the trio of good people, the blonde girl, the cool guy, and Banya, all hide in a barn. But George, of course, was trailing them somehow, and now he shows up and he's gonna kill them all, basically. But again, a ninja saves the good guys. Ninja shows up and gets a big fight with George, and he throws him on a stake, and he's dead. Then Grady, George's partner, who's witnessed him kill this girl from the get-go and has watched him do all this cover-up and all this other stuff, he wakes up from being knocked out by George and clears everyone's names to the chief of police. Everyone agrees that DeSoto is a good place to live. And then Banya goes and visits the ninja ghost at a styrofoam gravesite in a field. And that's the end.
I want to commend you on your use of bees in that. You really highlighted some of the good bees in this movie.
There are some good bees, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's worth remembering that everything that happens here is just a bunch of white people in Missouri acting like karate masters and ninjas and stuff, which evidently the ninja is actually a karate master.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, there is a part. Okay, folks, to lay down something from this movie. There's a lot of dialogue that just sounds like people are reading from encyclopedias.
Yes.
And there is one particular scene where Banya explains to the other good people, the blonde woman and the karate dojo master, exactly what a ninja is. That I thought was nice.
What? Just exactly what or who is this ninja? I mean, where did he come from? What's he doing here?
Well, it all started, I guess, about 2,000 years ago, I guess, Dan, in a Chinese book on military science called Sun Tzu.
2,000
by
years
a guy
ago.
named Sun Wu. He lived about 300 to 500 BC. And then about 600 AD, it was introduced to Japan by Prince Shotoku. And see, he employed the
Here's your
secret
$2.
warriors to probe both sides of civil suits, like, to get at the truth.
It's even doing the
I guess in
zoom.
modern day terms, it's kind of like commandos fighting behind enemy lines. Oh, and they're experts in the art of stealth and also in invisibility.
Wait
It
a
says here
minute.
in the script.
Are you trying to tell me these
Invisibility.
guys can actually make themselves invisible?
Oh, well, Carol only
Wait
to
a
the naked
minute.
eye. Kind of like the way magicians make things disappear. Or commandos camouflage themselves in the jungles.
Well, these guys are really good then, aren't they?
Good. No, they're the best. They're the ultimate warriors. Oh, enough for your history lesson.
Ah, he
That's
said the
the
name of the movie.
There you go with
When it's Dan and Susie talking to each other, it really sounds like they're gonna short each other out. Like it sounds like those, those toys that talk and listen to each other. Like if you put two of those in a store, just facing each other,
Yeah.
that's what their scenes. Like I got anxious listening
Like
to them.
Furbies.
They're incapable
Yeah,
of processing
exactly.
context.
Ah, yeah.
God.
Like almost as if they were gonna meow 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 meow. It did look like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in the beginning. We forgot to mention that.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood over here.
Meow 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 meow.
It really looks like
Ninja
the
meow
intro.
meow. Meow 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 meow.
Oh yeah, that's a whole part that I think is cool.
Ninja meow meow meow.
Ninja meow 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 from ancient civilization Japan meow 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 meow.
Ding 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 ding. Is that a ninja star I see? Ding ding. I wrote
It's a beautiful day in Missouri. It's a beautiful day.
they in DeSoto.
The logo looks exactly like any late 70s TV show, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
It's that
what
like
is
Cooper
Mr.
Black, italicized, underlined, like
shot of a city from
Yeah.
from the top of a building.
yeah. It's a hell of a title card.
Yeah, the production of this is a whole conversation. That's-
I wrote down room tone is important in all caps. Every scene has a different kind of background noise in it. Every cut, every little back and forth.
I think the best
Lighting
background
changes.
noise is our first cop whose chair sounds like a goddamn donkey.
All right, we'll have a car out there right away.
Oh Jesus, room tone.
Unit 3, you have a copy. Right up. Yeah, I need you to run out to Sam's Market. They've got a lottery or something out there hanging around. Check it out for me. Right, I will check it out. I go with Sam, George. I'm glad you're back in town.
Is there a
I knew
donkey
you
in
wouldn't
there?
like to see. You go by the book up there. Too much paperwork. Yeah, well,
I think that's like his desk.
these boneheads down here, they can't even write a ticket without calling me.
Wait, so we got kicked out of his town and now he's back in Missouri town?
Oh, really?
I guess so, yeah.
Didn't you and her have a thing going on there?
He's
for a
in
while?
like Podunk, Missouri instead of St. Louis, Missouri.
Dated a couple of times,
Yeah, and they're definitely both in a different place right now.
I care less
I like
as
that
long
he's
as I get my
behind
wishes
the door
crossed.
frame.
Sure, boss, whatever.
There's a donkey again.
Yeah.
I wrote down. Adam said, "Is there a donkey?
Yeah.
Is
He's
there a
just
donkey in here?"
swiveling his chair. Like, God damn. What are we doing?
This is a
I
real
wrote-
sound, not an added sound.
No, it's an actual, yeah. It's just bad
Yeah, it's
fucking
just-
audio.
Yeah.
Um,
And you know
Yeah,
they have the
the-
WD-40 on hand.
Every
in
car is
the-
yellow.
In the scene where early on where he's proving himself to be a bad cop, George, and he's giving that kid a ticket, and he essentially asks for like a blowjob from his girlfriend.
Right.
Come on, isn't there something I can do?
Afraid not.
What are you gonna do? Suck my
Is
dick,
there something
kid?
we can do?
Oh, you want to help your boyfriend out here? You bad, huh?
Well, yeah.
Is this Chris Evans from The Gray Man?
Maybe there's something you can do.
Wait a second. Get in the trunk. I don't like this at all.
It's a ticket,
Hey, listen,
dude.
I'm the one that's getting the ticket. Not her. You leave her out of this.
For a rolling
Listen,
stop,
write
that's
your
like
badge
$100.
number and your name down.
If anybody's gonna suck your dick, it's gonna be me.
Let's find my badge number right here.
Honey.
On the camera, there, the exposure is like riding when they close the door and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is real VHS-y.
Yeah. That hallway he's in that's just blown out to shit, but it's only his coverage. It's the donkey scene. It's like he's in this weird hallway, and yellow, which is a constant theme in this movie. Yellow cars,
Yellow is the theme.
yellow tint on things. It's just everywhere. So
You think that was a motivated choice?
Yeah,
stylistic.
it's
choice.
saying that cops are worth piss.
Yellow bastard, yellow bitches.
Yeah.
If we make the cop cars yellow, they can't see when I
They did-
piss on them.
They did everything but make the cop cars yellow, and there's a lot of yellow cars.
Mhm.
They kept popping up. Yellow truck, yellow Trans Am, or whatever that was.
The
Yellow fire engine,
Firebird,
yeah.
Firebird, fire engine.
Mhm.
The EMS was yellow. I'm pretty sure
I think so, yeah.
there was like a
Yeah.
yellow.
The street was yellow.
Chevy's. What do you, like a hatch? What do you used to? They don't used to call them hatchbacks.
Like a station wagon
Station
almost?
wagon, yeah, like a
Mhm.
Chevy station wagon. Maybe that was yellow or tan. It was all, and the whole film, looks a little like the movie Seven, like piss yellow, basically. Like here's all the film, just piss on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of weird transitions. A lot of weird wipes. Like there's one eyeball one
Yeah.
that's like shaped like an eyeball that reveals an eyeball.
And they do the same thing with the billiard ball too, right?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
The transition to the karate dojo is like an hourglass. It's very
Mhm.
weird. Or like a chevron, maybe. It's very
My favorite
strange.
edit is that Grady is calling out George. And he says, "I'm not doing it, Grady. I did it that one time, but I'm not doing it." And he like points his finger at him. And then they cut to something else for about 30 seconds. And then they cut
It's the
back to
tire
Grady.
fire.
And he still has his finger exactly where it was, and then he pulls it away. So it's like I don't know. There's just lovely little things like that.
There's a lot of strange edits, and it makes me think they edited it on like tape to tape 2 VCRs.
It had to be, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the constant. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say constant, but several usage, much usage of this one flippy ninja shot. That they just
Oh, yeah.
kind of cut in, and it's not. I feel like they don't have the full shot, or perhaps not the rights to
No.
it.
I feel like it's a figure, and they're throwing it It's like a miniature, and they're
It did-
throwing it, and that's the flip.
It looked like a guy, but it looked like they hired a guy and they shot it poorly,
Yeah.
and they only got one good shot, and it wasn't a full shot.
Yeah.
He doesn't clear the frame in it.
Right.
Right.
Like he
yeah.
would
He
flip
looks
up.
stretched out. He looks real thin. Like
Yeah, and he's in the like the camera's pointed up, and it's a guy flipping over the camera, but he doesn't clear the frame, and it just cuts, and it doesn't ever show the guy land. He just is immediately running again or beating someone up.
like a really bad Free Willy. It's like a really bad Free Willy. Yeah.
What?
The
the scene where the wheel goes over the jettison rocks or whatever.
Yeah.
those are? Wow. Yeah, I haven't thought about that in a while.
No,
Yeah,
me
so this
neither.
is Ninja Free Willy, basically.
What
Yeah.
about the wide shot with the voiceover that goes through scenes?
Oh, with the
even?
ladies at the beginning?
Yeah. I wrote
Yeah.
Justin Petty 4-dimensional edit.
What do you do this weekend? I'm probably gonna go to the lounge, relax, sit around and relax. Sure, have a good
Dance.
time.
I'll go to the lounge.
You got another hot
the
date
sun.
tonight?
No, I don't have another hot date tonight. But guess who called and asked me out again?
Who?
George.
This is all happening in a wide shot.
Yep.
Again.
Exposition character dump.
I can't believe it. It's been years now, and I keep telling him no, and he keeps
So we're
telling me
focused on
Something
a
tells
different
me-
car now.
I think it's just being
Yeah,
a
something
jerk.
tells me these women
You know,
are not
I don't know how
actually
he ever made
important.
it on the police force.
Like,
God,
what
I
they're
don't
saying
know
is not
either. I thought
important.
they were supposed to
Is
have
King
more
Friday about to
common
come out?
sense
Well, it
than
was
that.
like somebody she was dating. She can't believe he became a cop, or how he's a cop.
Somebody that
Yeah,
just
I
really
feel like they're
knows
gonna be
that
the
it
next
really breaks
target
his
for this
humor.
renegade cop,
Grady.
Grady! You've got
and
to
then
be
our
kidding,
Ninja
right?
Ultimate Warrior fella is
It's just
gonna.
a joke. Would anybody be better than George?
It's a filming conversation that starts it starts at a film. It films a conversation from the beginning of it to the end, regardless of what's happening on screen.
It kind of reminded me of like Robert Altman or something, or like we were talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
an old British movie, like the weird
Mhm.
use of audio.
Yeah.
I've been reading that Quentin Tarantino book, and he briefly talks about Altman, about how he doesn't think Robert Altman watched movies.
Oh.
Like Robert Altman just did stuff, and like he was like, I'm just gonna do it how I think it should be done based on what I know about this stuff, and hence you come up with something original with audio, I guess. But
Had a
no, I mean,
Shortcuts vibe, I guess.
well, shortcuts. It does seem like a shortcut because they were just like, we need more character development, and we just have this shot. Let's just voice record the girls talking over this whole scene of them driving, and that'll work.
Yeah,
but it plays kind of interestingly, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. And and I remember when that happened, I even said, I was like, I don't think that this means anything. I think that this is useless. They're just padding for time. And then it ended up being very plot crucial. It was
Yeah.
Well,
because they
it's
were
kind of a
explaining like, oh, that she had a past with George and yada yada yada, which sets up why he was angry at her and then kills her. So yeah,
I think while
it's
we
kind of
were
the impetus of the whole movie.
while we were watching it, you were
A lot of
like,
stuff
"We're
in
never
there.
going to see these girls again."
Yeah,
And then there they come from another scene. Like, "Oh, they're driving through. Oh, here they are."
as many characters as they kept throwing at us. The only really useless one was the Nick Nixon one.
The singer, yeah, the name recognition. Is
Which-
yeah, they had to get him in there for sell
that was-
it regionally.
oddly enough, he's one of the best actors in the whole fucking movie, though. He's like the most natural.
He does seem a little more natural on screen than everybody else. He's
he's got stage presence, you know, he's used to it.
If you took Betty Broderick's like crazy freakouts and how fast she talks, but you made it all monotone, that's what these characters sound like. It's robotic exposition dialogue. And the first, I don't even remember that first part, but it was the two guys, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, what are you doing over here? I don't know. We're just hanging out. Well, why don't you sit down? I'm going to tell you this ninja story." Okay, well, the beginning of the ninja story is this. And it's the most inane, like it's torture, like how they're talking to each other.
Did those guys come back?
It could have
Like,
been the
we're-
ninja.
I
Maybe he's
don't,
one of the
right.
ninjas.
It was just the first 10 minutes of this movie, is these ninjas, these white ninjas.
Camp Ninja.
Yeah, of course.
Presumably in Japan, but
Missouri ninjas.
It's Missouri. And they're talking about
You think that was supposed to be Japan?
I guess so.
Like feudal Japan or something?
But maybe it was the ancestors of maybe it was the people that are buried at the fucking styrofoam gravestone at the end. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're talking about the responsibility of the ninja, where they're, we have the power and these abilities, but it's more important to protect a life than to take a life and all this shit.
Yeah.
For like 10 minutes. And then fade to black, and then here's the title screen.
Yeah, they're very
was that Banya at the beginning?
That's what I thought. When we saw Banya later and he's running, I was like, oh, that's the guy from the beginning.
Oh my God. The dialogue just completely, like, it just pelted like every brain cell that I had. And I just, I couldn't remember what the fuck was going on. Because then there's this, I thought we were watching a Godfrey Ho, because there's this voiceover and you see a bunch of ninjas and it's like, okay, well, I guess I got to go to the States. Yeah, you better be careful over there in the States. Okay, well, what about these other ninjas? Well, I'll find them, I'll figure it out. And it's like such an exposition dump every time. So I thought it was this, surgical joining of these movies, but it was actually it was important.
It was one unified vision.
It makes more sense than any Godfrey Ho I've ever seen.
Correct.
That's for sure.
I did like the idea of a ninja lawyer, which kind of seems like this ninja is really taking care of these people throughout this film.
Yeah.
We had some good riffs on the ninja lawyer, I think.
Which is interesting. The ninja is kind of like the Banya guy's guardian angel.
Yeah.
And almost like a Batman character. And then Banya has that moment where he fucking quotes Gordon.
Oh yeah, he does.
Swear to me.
He takes off his mask. It's just Bob Newhart.
Yeah, it's okay. We can go right about.
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Yeah, he is. I think so.
God, I hate it when he does that.
Oh, classic Batman line.
Hey.
Oh yeah, you were saying that it was a more traditional ninja compared to a lot of the ninja movies we've seen.
Oh yeah, you barely see the ninja, and I think that's
he is well hidden for the first part of the movie, even though it's broad daylight for most of this, because they're shooting on video and there aren't any lights.
Oh, that first shot was really jarring. It was like a magic eye painting. Like I was like, what am I? It's just somebody's backyard.
Was that a Sasquatch?
Oh, where he's hiding? I did think he was a monkey or something.
So Joey said, he said, "Is that a monkey?" And it was a ninja. Oh, and the part. Okay, we have to talk about how Joey predicted lines in this movie twice.
Yes, 2 times.
He said,
twice. Yeah.
"You'll never get away with this." Was one.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never get away with this.
You'll never get away with this.
All I know is.
And then again later on, you said, "It's gonna sound crazy, but."
Yeah, I said my witness is a ninja.
My witness is a ninja.
As a masked man, as an early century China and Japan.
I know you're gonna think I'm crazy.
Look, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you the truth.
Well, only you could joke around.
It's exactly when they said it.
Yeah, it's fairly predictable dialogue for most of the runtime, I would say. What does the ninja use aside? I wrote down just "Hey boy."
Yeah.
The ninja does use at some point a "Hey boy."
What about Bigfoot?
Oh, they got a "Hey boy."
Hey boys in this, which is a decoy person. I don't really know.
It's when it's when the hillbillies corner Banya.
Yeah.
And then the ninja like pops out of the barn and he's like, "It's me, the ninja. Oh wait, no, you just stabbed a hey boy." And then he like, takes him down.
It's just
very
him holding a hey boy walking out of a door, and then they stab the hey boy and he throws it aside.
But the hey boy's wearing his clothing. He brought like an extra pair.
Those hours of preparation were worth it.
Yeah.
Like,
it seems like you could have just. Well, I don't know. I guess that's good. Way to do it if you're expecting them to stab you and not shoot you with a loaded weapon.
You know what? That was real neat. Yeah.
It is wild how that it starts with a fucking Star Wars crawl.
I mean,
complete with 4 periods at the end.
I have like a little bit of a big space in my heart for these like Southern Midwest, really, really low budget movies. And we're doing ninjas and there's Star Wars stuff and bad cops and
Yeah, it's just like honestly, it's a bunch of rednecks having a good fucking time, and I really love that. Like,
yeah,
and they utilize the fuck out of that town. The
It's
karate
endearing.
class.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, it's that chick from whatever.
Development.
yeah,
Faces in the karate class. Jesus.
Yeah, that's the
Please.
whole. They just shoot a real. It's seemingly a real class at a karate studio somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe DeSoto, Missouri.
And some people have been told they're being filmed for a movie, and they decided to put on their best karate faces. Oh my god! If I could read you my notes, I almost could just. They're like single, like 4-word sentences.
yeah, go for it.
It's really fucking weird. I don't.
About everyone in the karate studio.
Well, no, just this movie. This movie is so weird.
Okay.
I just wrote like robotic dialogue, lots of eyeliner, written by the encyclopedia, ninja slow-mo practice, cut right to Gander's Market. Everyone has exposition. Everyone. Room tone is important. I want your gun. I want your badge, and I want it now. Director John Legends. Grandmaster Ron White. Is there a donkey in here? Harsh lighting. I'm gonna go relax at the lounge. Exposition wide shot. Justin Petty 4-dimensional edit. Flat tire. Cops are rapey. She knows them. You sure look pretty, Shelley. How about today? George's creepy assault theme plays. Yeah. George kills lady while changing her tire. Gets random guy's fingerprints by showing him Sweet Billy Club moves. Grady is a bitch. Is that a monkey? It had 10 minutes of ninja stuff, then a title card, then a different movie, then Banya. That was an Adam line. So that's how my notes read, basically. And there's like another 3 pages. I wrote down Banya is the thinker. Finger edit. Grady, look out!
Grady, look out!
Ninja
Banya
lawyer.
is the thinker is very good.
Yes, Banya thinking in his cell.
Yeah.
So I don't want to keep going because
They were
there's a lot
influenced by
of stuff to
art.
cover.
You know how the great
Yeah.
directors always reference great art. This one from Toby Gillis.
Reference great art, inspire Christopher Nolan, all in the same movie. You
I
know,
bet they fucking saw that episode of Toby Gillis. Can't lose.
there's a great moment where Banya's hiding in like a car yard, like in a junkyard,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then-
I forgot about that.
and he's like looking over the car. He's like, "Oh, here comes George and his fucking and Grady in his car," and he gets all
George
scared.
Costanza.
He turns. That's my George. Sorry, I didn't do it right. George is getting upset. I can't do it. Cut that. Cut all that.
No, that's staying in.
That's definitely
That's
staying.
definitely staying.
I try it like 3 more times just for redemption. But so he turns around and he falls into this muffler and like hubcaps that are all like stacked together, so that there's something for him to fall into. That was pretty cool. Zangief gets his ass kicked.
I've just been playing a lot of Street Fighter lately.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That was a great scene. I just love
Oh
that scene.
yeah, he picks up that giant guy in the junkyard
It's a very
and
big
body
boy.
slams him or
Yeah.
something. I don't know if that's a
There's a
body
lot
slam.
of slow motion, unnecessary slow motion.
That slow motion shovel hit is
Yes,
like
yeah.
one of the worst things I've seen.
Uh-oh. Shovel.
Shovel.
Slow
Watch
mo.
out.
Oh fuck.
Oh wow, that was
a great
that was
slap
fucking terrible.
very bad.
The thing about slow motion is
We should just get it. Okay, let's just get into favorite parts, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll start off. My favorite part, you touched on it, JD, but it's right after George accidentally kills, I don't know, whatever that chick's name is.
Shelley.
And then Grady goes, "Damn, George, what'd you do?"
George's rape queen. Yeah, that's not good.
Damn, George! What'd you do?
He hit her with a billy club.
Slut.
Similarly to where the ninjas were fighting behind a Willie Nelson concert, but I don't want to get into somebody else's favorite part.
That's that Seagal move.
Whoa. What?
Willie Nelson's.
Wait, what?
I really wish I had written a better plot.
Jesus Christ, we missed so much.
God.
Yeah. God.
Jesus.
Fake Willie Nelson.
Okay, JD, what's your favorite part?
I wrote it down, but I'm having trouble finding it. Okay, this is my favorite because there's VO in this, right? There's VO not only of the two ladies having a conversation while they're driving down the street across town for 4 minutes. I don't know. But there's VO at random moments. And the best part, because you never see it coming. Who's the guy? Is it? I don't remember who it is at the end. It's one of the cops, I think. But there's a VO and it's he says he really is a ninja in his head. And then out of his mouth he says, "Well, I'll be damned." Like, which part was supposed to stay in your head?
Whoa.
Very good.
Okay.
He really is a ninja. Come on.
It's such a dumb choice.
Okay, I cut that part out of my plot. I think that's in between when he drops him off of the abandoned house and then he randomly gets attacked by George. They like really cram this scene into the movie.
Yeah.
It's like the cool dojo guy, the blonde guy who can't put his arms down because he's too buff.
Yes.
He's like, he just randomly is driving through town and then gets attacked by George for no reason, seemingly.
Yeah. He was wearing a Cobra.
And then the ninja is also there. And he throws a ninja star at the guy, right?
Yeah.
It like hits him in the gun in his hand. And he's like,
I gotta go. You're too scary. Things are going too crazy with the ninjas. And then the dojo guy picks up the ninja stars. Like, I'll be damned. Yeah, that was.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then he goes immediately back to the house. Like, why did you leave exactly? I don't remember, or there's no reason actually for you to leave except for just plot necessity.
And there is a moment in that house that I don't know how to articulate, but he goes back to the house and he is corroborating Banya's story as what's her name is holding a shotgun in his face, and he goes, no, it really was a ninja. And he's like, God damn it, Dan, you shouldn't have said that damn word. Yeah. But then,
like he's gonna appear or something. Like,
then cool guy Dan pulls out the ninja star and like he's like, I found this, and he goes to hand it to Banya. And he's a good 4 feet away from Banya, maybe further.
Oh yeah. Oh, the
and
awkward
Banya
pause.
reaches out and touches the ninja star. Doesn't like pull it close to look at it. He just touches it, holds it like way out, and then just hands it back to him. And it's like, why? Why did he?
In Dan's head, he's like, "Oh, it's my line next."
Yeah.
Okay. There was just a moment.
Yeah. Pass the talking ninja star, and then you can say your line.
I mean, probably some of the best parts was stuff we touched on was the crazy looking people inside the karate studio. And I mentioned it earlier, like the really drawn out. They go for like a jog once they leave the house, and then Encyclopedia Brown explains everything what a ninja is to the girl, and he says the title of the movie. That was good.
That was great.
This So at the very beginning, they're at this ninja camp, and then they cut, and then they show that it's all wide, and there's like a bunch of people, and they're all
In the
doing
bushes, right?
They're all doing ninja training, I guess. And like,
oh yeah.
Okay, so
is this favorite part 2?
Yeah, this is my favorite part. So I am fairly certain we're gonna have to look back on the tape, but I am fairly certain to fit in an Asian-looking person in this movie, they put someone in a mask, like an Asian old man mask, and he says, "Very good," you know. And he's like training these children.
But also, is there an Asian guy / Michael Jackson impersonator that runs out of the bingo place?
There's somebody in the bingo hall that's like Asian passive.
And we thought something was going to happen, but he just screamed and runs out.
Well, because then the cop George pulls out the ninja star to show everybody that it really is a goddamn ninja that's terrorizing our town.
It's a goddamn ninja, Jesse. You know, like that's the movie.
And
damn it, Diane, I saw it.
This Asian person who I guess was the dishwasher,
but also not there on the same day that everyone else was, because
sees the ninja star and just goes, ninjas, and runs out of the bingo hall. And then
like, not again.
Then some racist fuck just goes, well, now who's gonna wash my dishes?
Yeah, that was
left him on the scene was this medallion.
I know.
Wait, what was that cut to?
What do you say? Hell, I don't know. I don't speak.
Was someone in the bingo hall?
I don't know. They've been cutting to
them. Would have been scared to join up anyway.
So that guy was scared of the ninja.
Who the hell's gonna do my dishes? What the hell's the matter with you, Flag?
Yeah, so maybe just generally the treatment of Asian people without having really any Asian people hardly to work with.
Especially the main ninja is not Asian.
I swear to God, that guy at the very beginning is wearing like an Asian mask, though.
There's a lot of slow motion.
It'll be there
fighting.
in the edit.
You be the judge.
Don't
take my word for it.
I was like,
you
I don't know
be
if
the
anyone's
ninja judge.
I don't know if anyone's seeing this, but I'm fairly certain this is a wide shot and a guy is wearing an Asian mask.
Oh God.
It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's not, but it's wide and you can't really tell. His voiceover, the one like Asian accented voiceover, like very good.
Yeah, very good.
And then there's like this kid with a wooden sword and shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of questionable things happening in the background.
Yeah.
Also worth mentioning, I wouldn't call it a favorite part, but worth mentioning is Deputy Weird Al Yankovic, who bursts into the barn.
He has some lines and whatnot. He's he doesn't sound like Weird Al, or when you get a close up of him, doesn't really look anything like Weird Al, but he's definitely got the curly, longish hair. He has a mustache, and he's definitely in the glasses.
He has a mustache. The shape of his face is kind of Al Yankovic,
pale.
Yeah.
I was saying he kind of looks like Weird Al from the like Beverly Hillbillies video, like that kind of animation, but a person.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was pretty good too.
Did you say your favorite part yet, Adam?
Yeah, mine was the damn George, what'd you do?
Oh, that one, yeah. This is the new segment I'm doing, guys, by the way, on Trash Movie Kings podcast. Adam, how long have we been recording so far? Do you know a timestamp?
Oh, we forgot to ask how Adam was doing.
This is the new segment. How's Adam doing?
We've been going for about 45 minutes now, so
45 minutes without asking Adam how he's doing.
In between the bees and then maybe Neil Breen Award nominations, we're just going to talk about Adam's life.
Adam,
how are you?
How are things,
Adam?
Sorry we didn't ask you.
I'm good. Right? I'm hanging in there.
All right, great. Moving on.
Okay, so
let's go ahead and
move railroading on. Adam. Okay.
Pretty good. Been reading some good books, playing some good games, and now let's move on to
the bees.
Oh,
that felt nice.
A couple for this one. We start off with a bad cop.
Yeah.
We have many billy clubs. We have a banya. We've got blue jeans. We have a blade. We have a boy, comma hey. We have a few Buttafuoco's.
Oh yeah.
We had a brawl, like a weird in the middle of the lawn brawl. We had a Batman line. We had a band. That was very weird. The Nick Nixon thing where they were just like, here's 2 minutes of his song.
We had like a thing where the getaway, if you guys are familiar with that movie, where they just go to a jazz club randomly at the beginning and that's it. Just kind of just like, oh, we're going to pause now and listen to some country music.
Yeah. We had a bingo hall and we had a barn.
We had a bridge.
Oh yeah, a bridge. I meant to write
Bridge
that
over
one down.
nothing. What was it?
Bridge to nothing. Bridge over nothing. I think that was about it that I have.
So before we move on to the ratings, did anybody have any nominations potentially for Breen Awards later in the year?
We did mention it earlier. I think the title card I thought was good because it's just like a TV show or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or some shit.
Oh yeah.
With a little bit of a bop to it, a little good song.
Yeah.
That was decent.
I'd say best. I mean, something about best fight faces. I would kind of think of it as like the karate class was like really half the class was like hamming it up and half the class was trying to be serious, but it was kind of like that Mr. No Legs where he stabs the guy randomly and he goes like it's that kind of face. Best exposition dumps probably.
Okay.
Yeah. There's that story Banya tells at the end. He's like, I don't know, I think it was like 2,000 years ago. There's like a ninja then, and then blah 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 blah. It just seems so like he's just making it up, but then it ends up tying the whole movie together.
Let me go to my brains thing and write Ultimate Warrior.
I feel like we could have a category for like best, I don't know what you would call it, but best like saying the title.
Oh, okay.
Like saying the name
best
of the movie
mention
in the movie.
Yeah. Best title mention.
But this one brought up a new category because we have had another movie that fits into this category that we didn't nominate it then. But this one has best diegetic music. So we have between
the country music fight scene.
Yeah.
The country music fight scene and the diegetic porno saxophone from fucking
Forbidden World.
Forbidden World,
yeah.
God, we watched too many movies.
Great.
Too many movies with the same titles.
But I like how they had country music, like Willie Nelson shows up, right?
Yeah.
And they have country music.
Ninjas fighting to Willie Nelson and
and then they cut to Banya running and it's like this John Carpenter like Halloween 6 theme.
Oh yeah, they
like
cut
that.
to fucking Goblin. It's like Willie and Nick Nixon. Or some guy who looks like Willie. Oh, directly into Dario Argento.
Yeah.
Goblin now.
Yeah.
No, it's an Italian riff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like almost direct. It feels very, very similar to an Argento movie in that scene. That was pretty good. Anyway, we can move on.
Let's go ahead and rate this thing.
I don't know, man.
I know.
I guess I can start us off.
If you feel definitive about it.
I don't, but I feel like you guys need a dad right now, and
I do.
Every now and again, I can step into that role.
Okay, Daddy. With scotch on his breath, he tells us the ratings.
It's bourbon, please.
Oh, well, cheers. All right.
Cheers. Southern Star.
I'm an American.
Yeah.
I'm an American. I'm an American.
I am a real American.
Doesn't Breen say that in one of his movies? I'm an American.
Yeah.
I'm an American.
Yeah, he does.
God, we're gonna have to watch a Breen soon, I feel like.
This movie, is one of those movies that I there was a lot about it that I didn't like. But then talking about it, I'm like, hang on, this movie's actually like, it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
It's not fun to watch.
It's chock full of nuts.
It's not. It doesn't have. It needs more like sex and violence for it to elevate itself. I felt like.
Yes. And then I had a really big problem with the end of the movie because, I mean, the whole thing is predicated on you have this cop that murders an innocent person, and then his buddy, his other cop, I don't know if it's his deputy or what, covers for him for the entire movie, covers for him. And then at the very end, the ninja kills the cop that killed the guy. And then only at that point is the deputy like, nah, yeah, he did it. It's actually, he killed him the whole time. And like, it's kind of fucked up. And then everyone's like, yay, we did it. Everything's fine now.
Yeah.
And there's no repercussions for the corruption. There's no like, they're just like,
We
yeah,
live in a
actually,
good
this is a
place.
great town. This is a good place to live in. Yeah, this
Without
is great.
George, we're better off.
Yeah,
people.
George is the only problem. And like, no, the whole system is corrupt. Thank you, Neil Breen. And
the whole resolution is that the sheriff says, well, I've known her for a long time, so she's good. You know, like that's the resolution. Like, oh yeah, I knew her since she was a kid. She's cool.
Yeah. And Joey, I think you were out of the room at this point, but JD was able to hear it. During that scene, I was just sitting there going, that can't be the resolution.
Yeah.
Like over and over.
Adam's like,
again.
no, stop. This is not it. Go back inside the barn. This is not finished. Like trying to make it like reverse itself.
Yeah.
or something.
Everything's fine, Adam. Just accept it. You would do the same thing. You have to be understanding in these moments. Just let a guy get away with murder, maybe, but then, you know, at the final hour, you know, become good.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. Just let it slide.
So I think the morals of this movie are questionable at best. The structure of this movie is questionable at best.
Yeah.
It has a fuckload of heart, though, and it's a lot of fun to talk about. So I think I'm going to do something a little unprecedented. We're going to figure out how this works. I'm going to give it 2 bags.
Wow.
And 2 Breens.
Isn't that corrupt?
Okay, we've
Son
been
of a
talking
bitch.
about how I don't think this makes sense, but in this instance, I kind of get it. I kind of get it. Because it does have Breen-esque thing going on, but it in itself, it's not that great.
Right.
Yeah, but the whole reason this even came up is because that one time somebody gave the movie 5 bags and a Breen, and then someone gave it a 4.5. So Adam averaged the numbers, but kept the Breen as if it's some kind of PEMDAS weird reality we're living in. And he only added the numbers, but kept the Breen. That's why. That's why this came
That's
up.
why
right?
that happened. Okay.
Because Breens are extra.
You're
Breens
right.
are not
Yeah.
part of the. They
I
don't
just thought
weight
they were
the
part
scale.
of the scale, but apparently they're not.
I feel like they're extra, but
This movie
I felt
is
like
making
they
me
were
question.
until this moment now.
Yeah.
Because now you're saying
They stand alone.
it's an aesthetic that they did get to, which is Neil Breen-esque.
yeah.
Meaning extremely cheap, perhaps extremely maybe politically motivated in some way.
Oh yeah, this movie is through and through until
Yeah.
the last 5 minutes is very ACAB.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know how.
And then it's like the last 5 minutes, somebody else came in and wrote something, and they were like, no, we can't have the cops just be assholes. Like, it's just that one bad apple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like something Breen would do. I don't know how he feels generally about cops, but it wouldn't be surprising to me if he wrote like a anti-cop movie, but then at the end it was just like one guy that was bad. It wouldn't shock me.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. I'm not gonna go with this.
No, you don't have to. This is my rating.
I have no idea how it averages into an actual average rating with those. I guess it's just whatever the average rating is, and then plus
it's two
a
bags.
brain.
Yeah, and
I think
we have,
I think it sets a dangerous precedent.
It does. It does
it
seem
does.
dangerous.
but it's a
little
new
bit.
year. It's a new us.
It's
All
new
right.
year, new okay.
Yeah, true. Because the argument I have against it is that I remember disliking Lake House in a similar way that I disliked this movie. And then-
Blood Lake, please
learn
the fucking
Lake
lore.
House is a good movie.
Exactly. It's an act of God that I forgot that movie title. So
I will
and then Justin
fucking kill you.
And then
I will-
Justin. Oh, okay, yes, I made it on the list. Let me get my lipstick out and write it on the wall. JD's been threatened.
Okay.
I know where you live.
It's threatened everyone but me and Apocalypse.
Yeah, because Apocalypse hasn't been on the
Apocalypse
fucking
is
show.
never
A
here.
vague
so-
threat. A vague threat.
Dude, we're doing our own little murder mystery here. Apocalypse hasn't been on the show because he's afraid that you're going to threaten him. This is life.
Or maybe I've
He's
already killed him. You don't know.
No,
He's out
alive,
on
I'm pretty
assignment.
sure.
That's the movie. It's called Out on Assignment with Adam Edwards. And you're the
It's about a podcast.
A Knives Out mystery.
a straight-laced podcaster.
That'll be the
with
next. That'll be
a
the next
taste.
Rayanne Johnson movie.
Yeah.
I hope Benoit Blanc can throw me in jail. That would be great.
Yeah. Push you up against the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I get what you're saying. Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Were people upset about that? I didn't think it was that big a deal in the movie, even.
Oh, about Benny being gay?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure somebody was upset. Shapiro was upset about all kinds of stuff, but
Right.
It was weird when we were talking about it extensively. We never even talked about that, but it was.
I didn't even notice.
Interesting.
It, honestly. I mean, Hugh Grant answered the door. I didn't get it though. I guess.
yeah, I mean, they had said in interviews before, I think they even wrote this movie, that like he's
Right.
queer at least.
Mhm.
And then some people are coming out saying like, oh, well, he could have just been his like housekeeper or his
No.
whatever.
Right, yeah.
And it's like,
Hugh
no,
Grant,
they were.
Hugh Grant, your housekeeper.
I mean,
He was wearing an apron and holding paint. Like they live together.
They do.
Yeah.
They do take like a 60s, 40s, 50s like kind of way of doing it.
Yeah.
In a way, like, oh yeah, it's his roommate.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it's Hugh Grant. You know they're doing a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know it now. If you don't know, you're kind of dense. But
Yeah.
it's fine. I don't know. Watching the first one, it's like he's not quite as well dressed.
Right.
He doesn't seem quite as gay, but
Well-
the voice and everything is like very southern.
From what I remember in the first one, he only has what, 2 outfits?
Yeah, he doesn't get to dress as much.
Right. Whereas this one, I mean, it makes sense that he would have, because he's going on an island vacation. So of course he's going to pack and all of that stuff. Like,
God, yeah.
It is very 70s though. At
I-
one point, he looks like Paul Lynde from Hollywood Squares. Like, it's really-
yeah.
like really great stuff.
God, his bathing suit in this movie is fucking amazing.
That's like straight from the 1920s. and
Yes,
shit.
I love it. And his little bandana that goes with it. I'm like, I love this man. I love this man.
I would love him regardless. I kind of loved the Hugh Grant thing, honestly. I was like, that's fucking perfect.
It was
That's
great
so
seeing
funny.
him too. Like fucking
Yeah.
hey. Acting like Hugh Grant again, because he's been doing all these weird character actor bits, which are great, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
rating.
Blood Lake, as I was saying, when I gave it a 2 or whatever, Justin was like, "No, this is perfect trash. You're an idiot. It's 5." And he said it was perfect trash 5, and that made it 5. So it wasn't like, oh, I enjoyed it this much, and that's the Breen rating, but this is how trashy it was, or vice versa. I don't know. I'm just having trouble wrapping my head around.
But
the
Blood
separation.
Lake is perfect trash.
Right.
Because
perfect
Blood Lake
trash.
had all of those elements.
But I feel like this has the same elements.
It
Like
does not.
everyone's
This has no sex.
everyone's reading. The end is just sort of tied up. Like it's just a different kind of trash, I think.
This has no sex. It has no real violence at all.
Yeah.
Well,
George tries to
with
come
a
on
stake through his heart or whatever.
Sure, at the very end.
At the very end, they throw it in, and it's like, yeah, you should have been doing this some of the whole time. That would have been cool.
But there's shovel stunt, smoke disappearance, sickle stunts, falling on a sword. Grady saves the day. I wrote all that happens. That's only this much of my notes.
See, I think
it's
Adams,
only that much of the movie.
I think Adams' rating still averages to a 4. In my opinion, I think that's how you include it. I think he's just stealing from a different scale to make more sense for him. But in his mind, in my mind at least, how I would rate it is a 4 still, based on that rating. It's very confusing. It's nuanced, but I get it, and it's
kind of influencing my vote as well.
Yeah. God, I don't know. You go, JD.
Damn it. I just want to flip this table. No, I don't know. My initial instinct was to say, I hate it. 5 bags.
Hated 5 bags.
Yeah, like that's my initial. But now that we're dissecting all this Breenisms and shit and like scales and what does life mean, I think I want to give it, because you're right, it doesn't have all the trashiness that I want, but neither does Roar. Roar didn't have sex in it, it had to be bukkake. That's
Roar had like 100 jungle cats.
True. That's why I got 9. 9.
What does this movie have that compares to 100 jungle cats?
This movie, the thing is with this movie, it's kind of like how The Room is so perfectly dumb and cringe. Like they had like no budget, and they went in people's backyards to illustrate, I don't know, Japan or whatever they were doing, and then they just made this movie, and they somehow it's like they fell from a tree and they hit every branch on the way down. It's simple, but like, hey boy, Zangief gets his axe kicked, karate class faces. Joey predicting 2 of the lines in this movie. Ninja stars are magic. Ninjas can disappear in glitter. Matt Damon doll. He's a ninja. I'll be damned. Like, ban your running. Well, no, this is something else. That's about lunch. But Willie Nelson fucking shows up. Grady's a total bitch the whole movie. Weird Al busts in. I don't even want to bring this up until later, but there's more. I just mean it's like full of, like, when Carol and her husband, we didn't even talk about the guy wearing the rug and how they're talking about just like, hey, I don't really trust this George guy. I think I'm gonna have a word for him. Hey, George, hey, come here, let me talk to you for a second. It's like, and he drives off in that yellow like Camaro or whatever. It's just
that guy with the vicious comb over.
Yeah, I feel like they had so much. I don't, room tone and the lighting, everything was just so fucking horrible. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Okay, 4.5.
Sorry, Adam, I didn't mean to cut you off. But...
No, what I was going to say is I think what you are trying to articulate is that this movie has a lot. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it is so much less than the sum of its parts. Because you look at all these parts individually and you're like, wow, it has like this crazy shit and this stupid bullshit and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's a boring movie to watch. It's not a lot of fun. It's fun to talk about, but it's not fun to watch. And so that's where, for me, I, like Joey said, he kind of psychoanalyzed me a bit, and that felt weird. But like, it's the 2 bags and 2 breens, where it's that kind of melding of the 2 things. So
I'm kind of, you're making me dig this a little bit. I might give it 3 bags and 1 breen.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Wow.
But I will say that I believe that the Breen should just count as as points for the total average for a rating, because the Breens have traditionally not been averaged into our trash ratings.
Right.
I don't know though. You could just add the you could do it however you want it, because you're editing it and you're putting it on YouTube. So what is the average?
This movie
still doing the numbers.
I think I'm gonna change mine. I can't decide what's happening in this movie, because it's like every time people start talking to each other, I want to like blow my brains out. Like whenever the two encyclopedia people start talking to each other, it really like pushes me back almost mentally, like a fire hose. Like it's just shoving me back with any progress I was making in liking this movie. Like the dialogue just kills me. So I'm just gonna be lame and give it a 4. I don't know. I want to give it a 4.99, but I think that's upsetting.
I like it. I mean, I was gonna give it a 4, but I like this nuanced rating system where we're talking about some kind of indescribable thing about it that makes it better than it is, even though
it's that je ne sais quoi that Breen really brings to the screen.
Yeah.
Some people had it and some people don't.
This has it.
It does.
And I don't know why.
But you're right, it's not,
because it's a bad movie.
Good. Yeah.
But it's made because it's made in that small town in Missouri. I think that's what it is. It's that's
I think it's that, yes. And the shot on video and like
lots
the
of other
heart.
things.
Shoving
that paper into that kid's mouth.
The fact that it's written,
the blowjob request.
The fact of the matter is the fact that it's written
by Ron White.
It's written by a karate master and starring a karate master as a ninja. That's very Breen.
Yes,
that's true. I thought it was Mickey Rooney in the ninja suit for a second.
The gumption and the balls that it took to put this all together is very Breeny.
And all the music,
some of its parts is
okay.
Not,
can I change? I'm so sorry.
I don't know,
Joey.
Sure, change your
change
votes.
away.
Okay, it's 3 bags molded into a boat, and then there's a Breen sail.
Isn't that corrupt?
One Breen that's carrying them across the trash river. 3 bags.
We're in agreement.
The Breen is pushing it through. It's not. I don't know if I'd say it's 2 Breens, but it's definitely there's a Breen in there.
So we're changing things up. We're giving nuanced ratings now that include Breens in the ratings that they aren't an extension of the rating system anymore. Mm-hmm. They are in and of itself a description of the movie that I don't even know where I'm going.
This also could be the last time you hear of this rating system, possibly. So,
could have
stay tuned.
Completely. We'll see.
We'll see. So what that does, it depends on how we want to do this. If we want to count Breens as bags of trash, this averages out to 4.
Okay.
Because I gave it 2 plus 2, and both of y'all gave it 3 plus 1. We each gave it 4.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we do them separately, we average out to 2 2/3 bags of trash with an extra 1 1/3 Breen.
I like adding the Breens separately, though.
I do too, because I think that that's more indicative of what this movie is.
I kind of feel like Breens should not be averaged.
It's
I think
between
they should all count.
Yeah.
So you think it should be 2 2/3 bags and 4 Breens?
Yeah.
That's insane, sir.
Breens are unbreakable. Breens have to be something different, or else it's just another bag rating system.
Yeah, the Breens cannot be averaged.
You can't break up a Breen. He's been doing all the top secret government secrets.
So are they averaged? Do we add them together? Do we take the highest Breen that was given?
No, I think
4 breens.
If you
is
spend
excessive.
if you spend a breen, you're committing to that. That's why I think the breens are so special. So I don't know how to rate it. I think that if each of our breens counts, like none of them get average. They're like tokens. We gave a breen.
Okay, so the breen
that's what I think.
scale
They're
is
more like
just
tokens.
way different.
Oh yeah, it could be
Okay.
25 if we're on a really good day.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
there's no end to the breen scale. There hasn't been traditionally to this point.
Okay, I like that. So it's 2 2/3 bags with 4 breens thrown on top.
I'm kind of in. I'm kind of in on this stupidity.
Okay, it's fun. We'll see what Justin thinks about it. And Apocalypse.
Justin's never going to watch this episode. Apocalypse will, but he probably won't say anything about the rating
You
system.
won't make it to this far in the podcast.
We got to get Squatch to come on the podcast. He said he was coming back.
Oh,
We
God,
gotta get
he's trying to
Apocalypse
find
back
his
on the
dad.
podcast.
Yeah, generally we need Apocalypse, especially if we're gonna do an NINJAnuary for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would make it better.
So we will see if NINJAnuary 2.0 is in the cards. It would be
in
great.
January 2.0 4 breens is in the cards. Or just start adding breens to everything.
2 2/3.
2 2/3 bags.
2.6666.
2.66666 repeating, which is also appropriate. 2.666.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very satanic what we're doing here tonight.
This one didn't have a lot of religion involved, but
No, it didn't. But I feel like invoking the breen the way that we are is
It feels right.
religiosity.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll go with this in
Court is
2023. If it
So that is-
sucks, we'll pull back.
We'll pretend like it never happened. That is 2 2/3 bags of trash plus an extra 4 breens on top of everything from the Trash Movie Kings for 1985's Ninja the Ultimate Warrior, also known as Justice Ninja Style.
Justice Ninja style.
What an episode, you guys. I have been your host, Adam Edwards. Thank you, Joey Graham. Thank you, JD Karpicki, for giving up your Thursday night, your Friday morning, for being here, for watching this, for establishing a new precedent for the Trash Movie Kings moving into 2023. It's going to be a great year. Thank you to everybody at home who is listening, who is watching. We are excited to bring you another year of trash movies. We're going to watch them so you don't have to. Thank you to Southern Star Brewing Company. I think they're still our sponsor. It would be
Hell
cool
yeah.
to get more beer.
It's on its way.
If you have made it this far into the episode, please go onto Spotify, rate us 5 stars, shoot us an email, trashmoviekings@gmail.com, go to our website, trashmoviekings.com, etc., etc. You know all that stuff. Follow us on social media. Thank you all for watching and listening, and we will see you next time.